Alright, what you see here is a new fan I got from Mark Welker. This is a Dayton harsh environment agricultural industrial ceiling fan. It is a very big childhood fan of mine, as many of you guys remember at the place I used to film at a few times, Bonker's Funhouse Pizza. They had one of these way in the back area and right above the entrance of the maze. They also had 2 Union era gold lines and 5 Dayton leading edge industrial ceiling fans. And then later on, the 2 gold lines were replaced by 2 newer 48-inch Dayton industrial ceiling fans with the curved blades until the place got torn down in around 2019. Now, for those who remember, I was unable to save the fans, unfortunately. More specifically, I was trying to really save the harsh environment one if I was to really save any of them. What had happened was, and I have mentioned it before, but what had happened was I was actually going to originally buy them, but then people who were selling them said that it wasn't really worth for them to really bother selling it, for the fact that for them to even remove it, they would have to get a lift, and they wouldn't have been able to make a profit just removing them, which I understood from their point of view, especially since they had just spent a ton of money getting a new place built. Now it's in a place called In the Game, and that place does not have any ceiling fans in there, unfortunately, that I have seen since I was last there. But I've been wanting to get one of these since I was unable to save the one from my childhood, and Mark Welker had one that was not in the best cosmetic shape, but I'm totally fine with it being yellowed like this, because that's exactly how mine was. The only difference is that the top canopy is a little bit more yellowed, and it's missing the black ring that went around the motor. But I can get a replacement ring for that without an issue. I just haven't got around to doing so. But yeah, this fan is my first cast Dayton. I used to think that the one at Bonkers was older than the gold lines due to the fact that it was more yellowed looking and such. But it actually was almost basically a decade newer, I'd say. And this one is labeled Dayton. These were sold under the leading edge as well. By the looks of this one, I'm thinking this one's from 1989. But yeah, the fan is very heavy. It does have a cast motor. And this one actually has a plug to it, which I am going to be leaving intact. I'm not going to be cutting it just because it's on such a very uncommon fan. I'd rather leave it as original as possible. If it was on a fan that was more common industrial-wise, I would just use it with the regular lead wires and not the plug method. Now, I do need to touch up some areas on this fan. It's not, it has some paint loss in some areas, but it came from Florida, so I can do it there. But I do know Mark Welker has said that these do show up from time to time there, that they're not too hard to find down there. But considering how a lot of places down there tend to use these type of fans, it's not a surprise. But even finding the later versions, like the ones I did a video at the laundromat, even those are pretty uncommon, because these fans really are not a cheap fan in terms of pricey, or like $300 or more and such. So that's why you barely even seen these, basically, compared to the normal version. But yeah, I finally got one of the second fan that Markers used to have. Now I just need to get the Union Gold line from someone at some point in the future, maybe, hopefully. They don't have all 3 of the childhood fans that Bonkers used to have. But yeah, I remember seeing this there a lot. So Mark Welker, if you're watching this, I really do thank you for selling me this fan. Take some time to buy it off you, since like Mark Wilson and I just weren't able to head out to Fanimation for about a year or so, and then he ended up going. I was going to go too, but then the thing of my grandfather passing away happened right the day before Fanimation, so I had to head back. But I was able to get this fan and such. But yeah, the blades I'm going to try to clean up a bit. I will try to touch up the fan as much as I can. I'm not going to repaint it. I want to leave it the way it is and such, because it did have a discoloration, the one at Bonker, so I want to try to keep it looking as identical to it as possible. But yeah, I really was bummed out I couldn't save the childhood one. But I mean, after spending 2 years keeping in touch with them, what they were originally going to do was sell off all the appliances there, like the fans, even the lights that they had there. But then they just realized that they would have been losing a lot more money if they did that. So they just let them get torn down with the building, unfortunately. But I know I tried my best to get them and such, but it just ended up not working out. But I actually got my own one now. It's not my childhood one, but at least I have one. Because these are very hard to come by. And the fact that I got one before they become even harder to find as years go by, I'm glad that I was just able to do so in general. So, yeah, that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more videos to come.